Good evening, everyone around the world. My name's Andy. I'm back here for West Ham Reunited with the Reunited 5's. I've got an amazing guest lined up with some amazing kits, but first of all, I'd like to thank our channel sponsors, Glazewise, Windows, Doors and Conservatories. John is your man, and if you mention West Ham Reunited, you also get a discount. And of course, during this very hard time, I'm supporting food banks, especially this time of year. Any donation what you make, John and his team will be there, especially the last game obviously before Christmas this Saturday. But if you want to make a difference as well with a cash donation as well, you can also go in the website linked below. Today as well, we've also heard the devastating news from Isla Caton's mum. I'm a bit lost for words speaking about it, but obviously the news is heartbreaking. The West Ham, not just the West Ham community. I've seen the likes of Robert Snodgrass even retweeting it, trying to make some donations to make some memories with Isla. I've put the link here, and I'll also put it in the chat for everyone now as well. If anyone can make a donation, that would be absolutely amazing. As we speak, I will refresh it now because it's going up dramatically. We have just hit 20k. It's gone up £1,000 in the last 10 minutes. So if anyone, I beg you, please to make a difference. But Mike, sorry for that long intro, mate. Most importantly, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, buddy. Not too bad. Yeah, obviously very sad about that news. It is devastating. Terrible news. But what we can do is offer condolences, and try and keep everyone's pecker up.
Yeah, no, definitely. So what more importantly to talk about West Ham history. But first of all, look, Mr. Cox is in the building saying two friends. Look at that what I've got there. And move around.
I've just had a cup of tea out of mine.
Yeah, I've got a cup of tea as well. Look, we must have known. Look, there we go. There we go. We've got that there.
The little man.
Yeah. So Mike, obviously we talk about obviously your kits, obviously no disrespect, you're a lot more experienced than what I am. You said this was a bit hard work, wasn't it?
Oh mate, I could choose about 15 different kits for different occasions because I'm so bleeding old. Right. I was 5 years old when England won the World Cup.
Wow.
I don't remember a lot about it, but I was just a football mad kid, and just loved football.
Yeah.
Loved football, just kicking the ball around whenever I could, and went on and had a very long career playing amateur football. But West Ham's always been my team.
Yeah, no, of course, mate. Obviously, a lot of people I've spoken to, they've picked kits like it might have been when their dad or mum or whatever picked their kits. But obviously these ones for you, obviously we obviously won't spoil them for the viewers so far, but obviously they mean something in particular, and obviously we'll jump onto that. But quickly, Mike, briefly, obviously yesterday's game at Turf Moor. Unfortunately, I was there a long round trip, I should say. What I'd done, but obviously I've had just over 24 hours to reflect on it. I know we should be beating them teams, but you've got to respect the point away from home, haven't you?
Mate, I said earlier, I mean, a couple of years ago, we'd have snapped their hands off for a point away at Burnley. That's how far we've come, and expectations are high now, mate, because of how well we've done over the last two seasons. So, yeah, I mean, it was disappointing, but, sometimes we've got to get our feet back on the ground and realise, what's happening. We've lost the back four. We've lost a lot of good players. We know we need to buy something else up the top. Yeah. But, hey, we've done pretty well with limited resources.
Yeah, no, definitely we have, mate. So let's get this party started, so to speak. So let's move us all down here. Let me move this banner because then we'll all be disappearing. 1 second. Right, Mike. So we're going to move on to your number 5, which is this kit. The year we got promoted, and you mentioned a couple of players who you'd like to have on there, but I thought, buy one get one free and get both of the goal scorers on there.
Yeah, that's two of the main men, mate. I've got to say something about this. Might not be the nicest looking shirt, but mate, this is a day that I'll treasure and I'll never forget. I managed to get a ticket. I paid 150 quid. Me and my youngest lad, Dan, went up with Rich. Rich didn't have a ticket, but he was trying to get one on the day. The poor lad couldn't, but we got in the pub and we drunk far too much. But you know how it is. We had a great day out. We was all at the Green Man before the game.
Yeah.
And I said to my lad, I said, honestly, I'm never optimistic about a West Ham result. When you've been following them as long as I have, you don't get optimistic. But for some reason on this day, I said to him, I said, that we're going to win. I said, I've just got this feeling we're going to win this game. And it was just a great day, mate. A fantastic day. You know, and we was right level with that when that ball popped up and Vaz Tay smashed it in the roof of the net. Well, just went mad. I picked up some random little kid and threw him up in the air, and his dad must have wondered what the hell was I doing, you know. But it was a great day.
Yeah.
Me and Rich went the wrong way on the train, and
God,
I lost my
was
dad.
was that before a bevy or after?
Yeah, he was waiting for me in Waterloo, waiting for us. He said, "Where have you lot been?" Oh, we were just puzzled, you know. But what a great day.
Yeah. Obviously, we've got the two main goal scorers there. Obviously, this was Big Sam's first year. Expectations were high. Rumours were circulating. If we didn't get promoted, we would have been in really bad trouble financially. Obviously, so that added pressure. We signed some big names that summer. Obviously, Kevin Nolan, Joey O'Brien, Matty Taylor. Obviously, this man here in January. Another couple of strikers. But what stood out? Obviously, you could sort of say that. But was there any other memories apart from that final? Do you remember?
I watched a few games that year. I mean, I think one game was we beat Coventry 1-0 at home, and it was an awful game, mate. It was terrible. Oh God, it was abysmal. But I kept saying I was with my lads again, and I said, "Don't worry, we'll pinch this. Kevin Nolan will pop up and score one, and we'll win 1-0," and we did. And we seemed to do a lot of that year. I didn't see that many games that year, probably, you know, only a handful. But the football wasn't great. But give Allardyce his due. He got us up, and he did a job for us.
He did, mate. He did, and obviously, the big man there, Carlton. Huge respect for him. Obviously, I loved him to bits. Obviously, he's not the best. You can't say he's the clinical striker in the world. But the one thing what you can say is he'll put 110% in, and he'll die for the club. And he even does that now. Now
he's West Ham through and through, and he always has been, hasn't he?
Yeah. In my opinion, obviously he was a big part of obviously the promotion, but it's obviously like the way he comes across, even in the dressing room, Mike, isn't it? Having someone like that who can have a laugh and a joke, but obviously when it gets to the nitty gritty and come up with the performance like what he done.
Yeah, I mean he could have went elsewhere. He could have left that year, didn't he? But he hung around. You know, likes of him and you know Noble, Nolan. I mean, you know these guys come and did a job for us. Allardyce, wasn't the greatest football, but
I knew that would get you. I've been leaving that for about a minute or so. I knew that would get
you. He remembers it well. I think he remembers some of it anyway. But I mean, it was a decent team for the championship, and what a way to go up, though, mate. I mean, you know, we struggled a bit that year, didn't we? But to go up in a playoff final like that, have a great day out for the fans. I remember Tony Cottee was on our train on the way in, and he was about a couple of carriages down, and we all started singing "There's Only One Tony Cottee," and it went all along the train, you know, and just things like that you don't forget, do you? You know.
Yeah. Obviously, Big Kev obviously is a big part of David Moyes' coaching room staff now. Obviously, apparently, he's like the little go-to, obviously, between the manager and the players. Obviously, he's captain the side as well. Obviously, he's become very perform. But what a coup that was to get him. Bear in mind, he had his best goal-scoring season in the Premier League for Newcastle, and the fact that Sam Allardyce obviously convinced him for the project. What a player he was, mate.
Oh, I mean, you know, he just popped up at the right place at the right time. He wasn't the quickest thing on two legs, but he just knew where to be at the right place and the right time. It was a great coup for us to get him. And I think he's doing a great job now.
Yeah,
behind the scenes, he's doing a great job.
Yeah. The one thing what springs to mind, obviously, Kevin Nolan. Do you remember his volley at home to Derby? What was on the
Oh,
telly?
oh, that was a peach, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
that
that.
was worth the old chicken dance after that,
Oh,
wasn't it?
I just loved that chicken dance. It was
Yeah,
such a cool celebration, and everyone just had the ump about it, though, didn't they? They were
they
like,
did. Yeah,
oh God, here we go again."
here it goes.
But no, obviously, with regards to the kit, like I said, Macron wasn't my favourite sponsor, to be perfectly honest.
No,
Like you said, it looks a bit, but like you said, these kits are all here about the memories, like when you associate
exactly. Yeah,
when you
yeah.
associate.
I mean, I've got a lot of memories. I've been lucky. I've seen
Yeah,
success over the years. Um, and there's a lot of kits I could have put on it. It was so difficult, but this year, I mean, to get back up again, as a West Ham fan, I was used to us going up, and going back down and coming up again. We've done that since I was a kid. It's nothing unusual to me, but I just felt this was just, so great to go up this way, and such a great day out for the fans who'd been starved of it for so long.
yeah.
A big occasion at Wembley like that. I mean, I had mates who were down in the Blackpool end as well.
Yeah.
We could have filled that end as well, I reckon, that day.
Yeah, obviously, I've seen the videos and stuff like that as well. But how loud was Bubbles when that full-time whistle went?
Oh, yeah, amazing. Yeah, that was great. The atmosphere was just brilliant. Yeah, a day I'll never forget, mate. Yeah. Memories, you can't take them away, can you?
Yeah,
not until the old Alzheimer's steps in, anyway. But there you
go. Definitely. Always ask them for this. If you had to pick one player, obviously you've had the hammer of the years, but who was your player for that season, Mike?
For me, I mean, it had to be Kevin Nolan, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he made the difference. I've heard people were screaming, shouting at him when he lost the ball a couple of times and he just couldn't get back. He just didn't have the pace. He couldn't turn around and go back the other way. But mate, he did his job.
What pace he shown to set up that second goal, though. I've never seen him move so quick.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
It's like it was in slow mo, wasn't it?
His legs like one of those moments in time. It's sort of like it all slowed up, didn't it? And then it just popped over, and then Vazte, and it just. And then it erupted. The place just went off. It was great.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, people, that's Mike's number 5. If anyone who's new in the chat watching. So now we're moving on to your number 4, mate, which is this kit. I think that's a good picture as well. I'm getting good at these, finding
brilliant,
decent pictures. But
if you have a look over my shoulder, you might see that one.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, no, I just
like that shirt, and I just love the way we got out of trouble that year, beating Man United in that last game. Vazte scoring that goal. I mean, all the things about that year, the Sheffield United thing and all that. I mean, I just really enjoyed that. We had a decent group of players who didn't deserve to go down, but there was
you can definitely tell Noble's had an hair transplant. Look, he's got more hair there than he, isn't he? He has, isn't he?
Yeah,
he definitely. But obviously, you look at the players there. Unfortunately, I've just realised I've got mixed up with the players. I thought Tevez was the one in the back corner, but obviously we've got Yossi. Obviously, Carlos was.
Yossi,
but look at the players there. You've
Ferdinand,
got Ginge.
Ginge is there.
Noble.
Bobby, Harewood, brilliant. I mean, it was just it was one of those seasons again where we were just biting our nails all year. Wasn't it the Tottenham game? Remember that? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost it. Probably put on about 10 years that year, but I mean, it was so good the way we did it to get out of trouble in the end.
In your opinion, obviously the manager's always the one who gets criticised and the one that gets done. Do you reckon it was the manager? Do you reckon he lost the dressing room, or do you reckon it just needed something different?
I think it was just a change, mate. It was just a change needed,
Yeah.
I think it happens sometimes, doesn't it? It's wrong, but sometimes you just need that, don't you? You need a little bit of a different direction, or something different, And hey,
I'm gonna try and spring some games off you to see if you remember the ones what spring to mind for me. 3-0 away win at Wigan to pretty much seal.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
That
Yossi
was a
scored.
that was a great result because I mean we did sort of struggle against Wigan, didn't we?
Yeah.
But I mean that was a great win.
Yeah, no, obviously we had Noble there, but obviously breaking through the side.
Yeah.
Ginge,
Yeah.
Anton. Obviously, when you think of them strikers who we had, really, would need a couple of them. Imagine if we had a couple of them now.
Oh, exactly. I mean, Harewood, he was a monster, wasn't he? Really. I mean, no one and Zamora. I remember that time when he just killed the Arsenal defence. He just, I mean, mate, it was a pretty decent team. We shouldn't have been down there, but we were, and that was all there was to it, But we got out of it, and that was the main thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, I think this is a silly question, but who was your player of the year that season?
Mate, I mean, I just loved Tevez. I really did, honestly. He jumped in the crowd, didn't he, when he scored that goal against Tottenham? I know he went and lost it 4-3 in the ending, but I mean, there was times when, he was great for us, and I think he's up. He's been shown making that sign and whatever in the past.
Yeah,
and I think he loved his time at West Ham. He really did.
It's just a shame we didn't get that fairy tale ending of him coming back, wasn't it? Really,
it was really, yeah. But hey, things move on, don't they?
No, definitely. Right, people. This was a bit of a doom and gloom season. Obviously, the Great Escape. But these next kits, I'm just going to let Mike talk because these are absolutely amazing. Obviously, this is Mike's number 4, which was 2006, 2007 away. And number 3, I don't think there's anything else left to say. That's not a bad picture, is it, Mike?
Oh, that's a great picture, mate. Oh, it's another day I'll never ever forget. If you look behind me, I've got my ticket stub still from the day.
Wow.
That shirt might not be the greatest, but I'll never forget that. That's stuck in my memory. What a day. I mean, I can remember I just passed my driving test. And
wow.
I bought this banger of a Ford Escort. I got a ticket, and me and a couple of mates that I played football with were West Ham fans, and we always used to go whenever we could. If we didn't have a game on a Saturday, at local games, we went to games at Bristol City and Bristol Rovers and all the local games we'd always go to. We'd make a couple of pilgrimages up to Upton Park in the season, but this year I'm lucky. My dad, bless his soul, he had friends in the FA and he got me a ticket. He got us 2 tickets for the final.
Wow.
We saw one of the earlier rounds. I think, was it Villa or I can't remember. We saw one of the earlier rounds and we got tickets for this final, and what a day out. That was great. Bits and pieces you'll remember about it. We obviously got tickets in the West Ham end, and when Willie Young brought down Paul Allen when he was through, well, I mean, the whole end could have, if they'd go over the top of there, they'd have ripped his head off, but well, we just couldn't believe it because that goal was a job to see from down our end. It looked like it was a bit of a fluke. Well, didn't matter. It went in. It was a Trevor booking header, and that's all there was to it. But that was a good team.
Yeah,
there's a lot of high quality players there.
Obviously, Trevor was the one who got the goal, but obviously you can see the likes of Billy, and obviously Parksy as well. Bless him. Still got that same haircut.
Elvin Martin, Billy Bonds. I mean, flipping hell.
Just how good were they, Mike? Obviously, no disrespect. I've never really seen them play. Obviously, I've seen the highlights, but
we'll get there a bit later on, and I'll tell you about a few more. But I mean, those guys used to play on flipping mud patches and beaches a lot of the time. Upton Park pitch was quite often it was just 3/4 of mud. But these guys, especially Trevor Brooking, that guy used to just glide over the top of it. He was just
I know the club sort of recognise him. Obviously, we've got the stand. They know how much he. But do you reckon he was sort of went under the radar from everyone else?
Oh yeah, I can remember Brian Clough's quote was, he floats like a butterfly and he stings like one. But mate, he made him eat those words. He made him eat those words a few weeks later. Trevor Brooking was an absolute quality and class player. He just used to keep the ball at his feet and on those surfaces as well. And no one, no one could get the ball off him. He just shove it over to one side, take the ball, make a good pass or score a good goal. Yeah, I thought he was just high quality. And, with players like Devonshire and Cross banging goals in. I mean, there was workhorses like Patsy Holland. He was just an out-and-out workhorse, but he was a great player as well. Jeff Pike, underrated. He was another one that used to get stuck in and run around a lot. But, the defence was solid as well.
Yeah, obviously that's the one who was next moving on to, obviously, Frank Lampard Sr.
Oh, good player.
Very, very good. Obviously, the amount of games and everything what he played. Obviously, he's a bit under the radar. Obviously, because of what happened. Obviously, with Frank Lampard Jr. Do you reckon because of that? Do you reckon if that's why he sort of got it? Because I know you can't really name no more stands, but there's nothing else really named after him, is there? I think he does deserve that, at least like a bar
Frank
or
Lampard,
something.
I tell you, he was a great servant. How many games did he play? 700 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The guy, great left back, and he scored that goal against Everton as well and run round the corner flag, and we'll never forget that. In the semi. But he scored a couple of absolute pearlers. And I remember one against Liverpool where he just bent in the top corner from about 25 yards. And he was a steady fullback as well, and he was good going forward. Him and Ray Stewart, two absolute quality fullbacks. Alvin Martin, Billy Bonds. We bought Stuart Pearson. He came from Man United, and he probably had his better days at Man United, but he did a decent job for us for a short while, I know. But and then you had people like Devonshire delivering.
Dev. Obviously, I've only seen highlights of him now. I think I've asked you this before, but would you put him in like the Grealish bracket? Like,
definitely.
Like what he's worth, what he would be worth in today's money,
mate. How much would he be worth now? Quality player. Yeah, he had a bit of an injury. He had a bad injury really, and he struggled a little bit after that. But he was quality. It was a shame. He got his chances with England, but he never had a really good game for England. But he come back to West Ham and he just rip it up again for us. Yeah.
Obviously, you've seen my copy. Yeah, I've got the signed 1980 shirt with all the players on there, and it's up there. It's up in the bar. Obviously, that's our only last time we've won a trophy. Mike, I know we say it every year. I've just been on an Arsenal channel as well doing the preview to. I've got a funny feeling we are going to win a trophy, but how special would it be to win the FA Cup again?
Oh, it'd be great. I'd give it now if we just finished mid-table and won the League Cup or the FA Cup. I'd sooner that and us, drop 3 or 4, 5, 6 places down the league. It wouldn't worry me. I'd take a cup win, mate. It's just so great for the fans to have that day out.
What was that atmosphere like, Mike?
Oh, it was phenomenal. I remember some guys carrying a coffin round with Liam Brady written on the side. And bits and pieces like that. I remember the atmosphere was phenomenal, mate. It was absolutely great. And
what was that old Wembley like, though, Mike?
No, it was it was a bit old hat, and it needed to be knocked down. It was crumbling, mate, really. But the atmosphere was great there. Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Oh, this is going to be a hard one for you, Mike. If you had to pick one player,
oh, mate.
You've got to pick one. You've got to pick one.
That is tough.
For that year. Year.
But go for that year, and it is tough. I'm going to go with Devonshire for that.
Nice. Oh, that was tough, wasn't it?
David Cross, I'll tell you what, he scored a lot of goals. Yeah. He was another unsung hero. But I'm going to go for Devonshire because he just tore teams to pieces.
Yeah. Evening, Simon. Hope you're doing well, mate.
Simon.
Hope you're doing well. Not luck of the draw again today, getting Lille twice in the Champions League.
Cool, yeah.
Nah. Joe Cole was loving it. both his old sides. So anyone who's in the chat and who's still watching, just to confirm. So number 5 was the playoff promotion year, Mike's pick. Number 4 was the Great Escape, the blue kit, which is standing there behind. Number 3 is obviously the 19. This was actually 3 years in a row we had this kit from 1980 to 1983. But now we're moving on to number 2 of Mike's kits, and it is this kit.
Yeah.
And of course, I've picked the legend. It's the one and only Mr. Trevor Brooking for this. The floor is yours, Mike. Take it away,
mate. This kit, I would just, if we had that kit all the time, that'd do me for the home kit. That's it for eternity. Just keep that shirt. That is the home shirt. I mean, for me, absolute quality. And obviously, 76. We got to the final at Brussels, and in Brussels, and we were so unlucky. We played a really good team. Van der Elst was on fire, but we give them a great game. We kept battling away, but for me, this is all about occasions, the go with the shirt. But this shirt is the shirt for me.
Yeah,
I just love it. Well, I've got one hanging up there, mate. It is. Yeah, it's just my favourite shirt. I mean, we won the FA Cup in '75. We were a bit up and down. From '76 to '80. Obviously, we had up and down seasons, but I mean, we'd still kept this man, Trevor Brooking. He's so loyal. We stayed with the team. He stayed in there, and he was a hero to me. Full stop.
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously,
iconic kit that.
Yeah, no, obviously the team what was going, because obviously the success, we were slowly getting rid of obviously. But Bobby was still around then, I believe. Obviously,
he went in '74.
Oh, he went in '74. So obviously, like you said, a lot of players are slowly
going then. They were
are slowly going, and obviously you had a mixture of old and new, and like what you mentioned there, Trevor staying. But obviously, I've got Trevor there. But was there any other players who were in that pit? Obviously.
Oh, in that period, I was a big fan of Pat Holland. I mean, you mentioned him earlier. He was a bit of a workhorse, but he just gave everything all the time. I mean, I'm a big fan of him. I mean, Pop Robson.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, a great goal scorer. He was unlucky because he left us in. He missed out because he left us in before '75, so we didn't get in the cup final team for '75. But he's another one that I always remember this shirt on Pop Robson, and he was a great goal scorer. He really was. Obviously Billy Bonds, Trevor Brooking were two heroes for me in this era. But there's a lot of other great players, the likes of Frank Lampard. People like John McDowell. What a fullback he was! It's steady as a rock.
Obviously, you mentioned the players there. Obviously, Upton Park was slowly getting better and better.
Yeah.
Over the years, obviously, you got that reputation. Obviously, the likes when we had Judy and Dix. Oh, I don't like playing at Upton Park. The chicken run. Was it still the same back then during the '70s? Was it really intimate, or did it slowly during the '80s? It got that reputation.
Oh, I think even back then it was raucous. It really was. Yeah. I mean, I know a guy who was a referee and a linesman, and he did one game once at Upton Park, and he went on the opposite line from the chicken run, and he said he was so glad because the line will give a couple of dodgy decisions, and at the end of the game they had to cut his shirt off because he didn't want to pull it off his head. Because for what landed on the back of his shirt for the 90 minutes was
oh god,
not very nice. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. Obviously, you mentioned the chicken run. What it would have been like. I can't remember who it was, but someone mentioned that. I can't remember. It's been on a few shows. Was Peanuts? There used to be a bloke going around selling peanuts and just shouting out and stuff. You wouldn't get that now, would you? How do you please don't get now? And I want some peanuts. Oh dear. But no, like you said there, obviously Trev was a great player.
Oh yeah,
Obviously the kit. We've tried to do this kit again, haven't we, over the years? But it's
yeah,
never.
we have. We haven't
But it's
quite got
never.
there, have we, mate? But
Is that what you like though? The fact that it's like obviously this
yes,
one what I've got on now, obviously
yeah.
it goes to there. But like you said,
I
maybe they
like it
could.
with the blue in around
Yeah.
the top, and I just like that kit. I just love the look of it. It's
We've tried it a few times. It's got to be
yeah,
white shirt and white socks though, hasn't it?
yeah. It's got to have the white shirt and white socks with it. Yeah. The one I've got is the Brussels 76 one, which is
Wow.
this one, and that hasn't got the stripes on the collar.
Oh, okay.
But I actually like that.
Yeah. No, that's mad, mate. That's
Yeah.
mad. Right, ladies and gentlemen. Before I reveal it, Mike, take it away. The reason why you've picked this one as your number one.
Right. There is one top reason for this. My first ever West Ham game was in 1970. My dad took me. My dad liked football.
Yeah.
He wasn't really a fan of any team, although we used to like Chelsea. I think it was Peter Osgood was a mate of his or something. I mean, I don't know. Full stop. He was a big football fan, but he took me in 1970 to Southampton because being brought up in Dorset, our local team was Southampton. Yeah. And I was just football mad. And my heroes were Bobby Moore and George Best. So in this year, 1970, he took me along to Southampton and we watched Man United against Southampton. George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law, Nobby Stiles, all playing.
What a team.
Yeah. And Southampton kicked them off the park.
Really?
Southampton won 1-0. And but Bobby Moore was a hero of mine as well. So I think it was later on the season. I said I want to watch West Ham. I wanted to watch Bobby Moore. So I went. He took me along to that game. And out come West Ham with this kit on. And that was it.
Sorry, Mike. I just want to interrupt you. I've been watching the stuff going on, and my friends just mentioned it. Just want to give a big shout out to former West Ham United midfield player Robert Snodgrass, who's just donated £1,000 for Isla Caton. So
well done,
sorry to interrupt you, Mike. That's absolutely amazing. What an absolute legend he is. I saw the tweets. What he done earlier.
Absolute legend.
Thank you to Mr. John Hardy for making me aware. Obviously, he's watching the show as well. What an absolute legend you are, Mr. Snodgrass.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike. Continue.
Yeah, and out they came and beat Southampton 2-0 on the day. Jeff Hurst scored 2. Never forget it because it's just stay in my head. And Bobby Moore was playing. Oh, what a player! That guy just. When I was a kid, I just wanted to be Bobby Moore. Every time I kicked the ball, I mean, that year was I think it was in 1970. Was Mexico World Cup.
Yeah,
and he did that tackle on Pele, and I remember watching it at a friend's little kid's birthday party, and I was just glued to the screen. And I said, this guy, I've honestly, he just meant everything to me. And that kit should be West Ham's away kit for me forevermore. That is absolute iconic for me. I just, and
we sort of had it last year with with that colour, didn't we? Without the stripes.
We did, and I bought that one as well, Andy. I've got that one as well. I did like that one, and I have got. Well, if you look behind me, I've got the Dagenham Motors one hanging up there.
And, that's lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah,
that one.
The old Julian Dix one.
Yeah,
but this one, without no advertising on it or whatever, I just think that is classical. Absolutely classical. So that was me. That was me. Then I was hooked on West Ham. I was lucky when I was a teenager. After that, I played in a youth team and I had 2 mates who were West Ham fans as well. And we used to just whenever we could. We had another mate who was a bit older, and we would go with him and watch West Ham whenever we could. I've seen them all over the south of England, play at Brighton, Southampton, like I said, Bristol City, Bristol Rovers, whatever. And then, you know, we went up to Upton Park a few times, and when I finished playing and managing, then I got the season ticket, obviously, and I go as much as I can now.
Yeah, no, obviously, for people who don't know, me and Mike, obviously I met Mike when we appeared on Jake's show a few times. He wasn't there at the first Leicester game, and I was putting a few things on Twitter, and he was like, put my videos on, he went, I recognise that. And then works out, next home game, literally it depends where I stand, isn't it? Because we're separated by two. So if I sit on the low, it's literally the road down, and a few steps. It's a small world, though, isn't it, mate? You couldn't have picked right.
I couldn't believe it. I saw your video, and I just pinged off to him. I said, "You must sit quite near to me." And basically looking over my shoulder.
It is a small, but. Obviously, I wasn't. I've only seen highlights. Obviously, everyone calls him the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Mr. West Ham. How much would he be worth now, Mike?
Oh, mate, we couldn't put a price on it. He just couldn't put a price on it. I mean, he didn't have any pace, but mate, he just made up. But he just read the game so well.
Yeah,
he was so good. He was so cool. I mean, he'd never panicked. You know, he just put his foot on the ball. You know, he wandered off in the midfield, didn't he, and scored the odd goal. But I mean, mate, he was just absolute quality footballer, this guy. And like I say, in today's money, I don't know what this guy would be worth.
I'm not going to go well, I sort of am, and I've heard a few stories, obviously.
Yeah, but how he went and everything. Yeah,
obviously how he died, and obviously how the football name. But is this very true that the club really? Obviously, we've named a stand after him. We do stuff for the Bobby Moore Trust now. But was the club too late in appreciating him? That sounds very harsh. It sounds very harsh, but it's probably true, isn't it?
Yeah, it is true. It was too late, and the way he went was wrong. But it was wrong with Greenwood, wasn't it? And he just didn't have any messing about. And Bobby's race was run at West Ham when there was a few incidents that happened. It's talked about in it, the Blackpool game where they went out for a few beers.
Yeah,
I think he was a bit unlucky because he wasn't the only one who went out for a few beers, but that was it.
Because he's a World Cup
winner.
After
them, it was good night nurse really for Bobby at West Ham, which was such a shame. I'd like to see him just finish his career there.
Yeah,
I was really sad when he went. It was a real sad day for me.
I
was a 14-year-old kid, but I was devastated by it. And then obviously we got in a 75 final, and he's playing for Fulham against us. And
how well did it? Was he, obviously you said it wasn't right. Obviously they the stuff what was going on in his private life and stuff like that, and obviously the situation. It really does put a bad taste in your mouth. The fact that if only this was 20 years on, what they can do now. Yeah, he probably may have still been around today.
It would have been, and it was such a shame. You know what I mean? He ended up, managing in non-league football and everything. Bobby Moore should not have been doing that.
Why didn't the club offer him something?
He should have had some sort of role at that club. I mean, like I say, today it wouldn't happen. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't happen. We've had a few incidents. I mean, it's like Ginger, the way he went wasn't great either. But the way that Bobby, for such an icon of a player, to go like he did, it is sad. It was really sad.
Yeah.
But, I tend to want to remember the good days, and he had plenty of them. I remember when he went in goal. I think we played Stoke in a semi-final or a quarter-final. I can't remember, the League Cup. And he went in goal for penalty shootout, I think it was. And and that was Bobby, you know what I mean?
He didn't need gloves, did he?
No.
They didn't have them, did they? They didn't have them.
Gloves, they didn't wear gloves. No. Couldn't put gloves on. No. But I mean, how can you grip the ball with gloves on, they'd say, but joking aside, this guy is just a Rolls Royce of a footballer.
We'll sort of talk about the present day now, and now, Mike. Obviously, we're on the up at the minute. Obviously, it's all hunky dory. Being a West Ham fan, I know you can't really start judging teams because we've not won a trophy yet, and hopefully, God forbid, we do. But just how close is it getting back to them good times, like what you've mentioned, the FA Cup final and stuff like that? Do you reckon David Moyes is the man to drive us on to the success what we should
definitely,
deserve?
mate, definitely. I think, to be totally honest, like I said, being a West Ham fan for all these years, I've been used to us like winning an FA Cup when we was in the second division.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've been used to us going up and down, having great players, absolutely world-class players, the likes of Moore and Peters and Hurst, and but I think what I would really like, and what is beginning to happen, is Moyes is beginning to make us into a team that could probably have a bit of consistency, being around the top six, not to worry about being relegated every year, and maybe just put the icing on the cake and win one of these cups.
Yeah.
And I'd be over the moon with that. I would be absolutely over the moon with it, mate.
Well, it's just even a cup. I know we would love to win it, but to have that experience of a cup final day out at Wembley, even if you got to a final, do you know what I mean? It really would mean a lot to us. And like you said, them players, and especially for Deck as well. Like I love, and I think even if we win the League Cup, I'm not saying we are. I think that would still convince him to stay, don't you?
Yeah, we need to do something like that to keep that lad, because you watch him now, he's getting better with every game, mate. Against Burnley, I thought he was our best chance of scoring a goal. And that's from a so-called defensive midfield player. He's improving.
He's a number 8 now. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. He's not a defensive midfield player.
We know, Andy. We watch him every week, don't we? We know what he can do. These other fans can say what they want, and we can say what we want about other fans because we don't, other teams, because we don't watch them every week. But we know what a player he is and how good he's getting and how much he's improving week on week. And he could be another Bobby Moore, and that is saying something. It really is. Yeah, he could captain England. You know what I mean? He could stay at West Ham, captain West Ham for as long as he wanted. But he does deserve to be playing in a top team, and he deserves some success.
Yeah,
and I just hope he gets it with us.
No, definitely, Mike. So obviously, when we first started the show, I can't remember what I said. What was it? 19 grand for Isla.
Yeah.
Obviously, since I think there was on about 13. I think when the announcements happened, we've now hit 25. They've now hit 25 grand.
Excellent. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, I've made the donation and everything as well.
Yeah.
What I am going to do, I don't care if I'm spam the chat. I'm putting another link in.
No, do it,
it's
mate.
it's in the description below. Sorry, I didn't write that. 1 second. But no, what an emotional day. And Mike, I know. To be honest, I was obviously going on that Arsenal show, and obviously I heard the news. What was it, about 2-3 o'clock or whatever it was, and I was a bit upset, and I thought I'm not going to let that slide. But I thought I wanted to come on and do this show because we can't stop. I don't want to sound horrible, but all these shows, what we're doing, like people might not watch it tonight. They might not be watching it now, but they might be watching it tomorrow. And like you said, hopefully we can make that difference.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, I mean, there's more important things in there, but if we can make a little bit of difference, mate, we've tried, haven't we? You guys are doing a great job. Jake's, doing it as well. Yourself. There's so many of us, so many people doing a great job out there now, and I really appreciate it, mate. I really do. Yeah. And I just hope that everyone else does, and if we can carry on, doing something, making a little bit of difference, then great.
Yeah. No, definitely. Mike, before we go, do you want to add anything before we go, mate?
No. Just when you said about this, I've been looking forward to doing it, mate. I really have.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was a great idea at the time when you said to me, and it was real tough for me because I can even see 2 or 3 shirts there can easily pop on there, and we've had so many legends, and I could have talked about. And Paolo Di Canio was another one, and I mean that Avco shirt with Billy Bonds. I mean, and that other one there, that one in the middle, Trevor Brooking. I had that shirt.
Yeah, and on this, have a look. See if I can.
I don't think I could probably get about one arm into it now, but
yeah. No, let's have a look and see.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some great times and some great players in the past, but hey, let's hope we're making new history.
Yeah, look, there we go. Look, Bobby. Oh no, it's not letting me do it. I don't know what he's doing. But no, Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed that. Like you said, it's all about everyone making talking about their memories, and like you said, there've been some amazing kits. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring everything back up on screen just to show everyone what the kits were, and then you can go back and watch it if you haven't already. So as you can see here, Mike's number 5 was 2011 to 2012. Sorry, the playoff win. Obviously, with the fantastic goals there in the playoff final from Carlton Cole and Ricardo Vaz. Number 4, 2006-2007, great escape. Obviously, Carlos Tevez and all the players there you can see in the background. Obviously, the one and only, the player who I love is Mr. Ginger Pele as well. Love him, absolute legend. And then we've got number 3, the 1980 to 1983 away shirt, where Sir Trevor, I keep saying Trevor, should be Sir Trevor Brook in there. Sir Trevor with the goals, obviously the likes of Billy Bonds, who's obviously got a stand after him at Upton Park. I've met Phil Parks in person a few years ago. His hands are like shovels. Look, you've got Frank Lampard Senior, some absolute great players there. Mike's number 2 was 1976 to 1980. Got some memories there, and of course, Trevor Brooking again, heavily involved in that. And of course, the one and only number 1 from 1960 to 1970. Mike,
70.
It's mad to
they kept that shirt from 60 to 70. Yeah,
it's mad, and that is of course the one and only away kit with the one and only Bobby Moore. What an absolute legend he was, a part of the club. I'd like to thank everyone in the chat, and of course Mike for coming on, especially through this time. I know not just the West Ham fans are hurting, everyone around the country with the news what we've heard today. Yeah. But most importantly is we're a big West Ham family. We're going to stick together and make a difference for Isla. Mike, absolute pleasure. Everyone in the chat. One thing left to say is, come on, you irons. Take care, everyone. Take care.
See you later, guys. Thanks, Andy.
Bye.